This AgVision program is made possible through the generous support of Syngenta Seeds NK brand. The results you need, the freedom to choose. And by Farms.com. Ag news, market prices, ag careers, and farm real estate. You'll find it all at Farms.com.
Well, Saunders Farm is a 100-acre farm, 30 minutes from downtown Ottawa. That is the city, not the government. And we started out as a strawberry farm 25 years ago, or 30 years ago now, and we grew strawberries for 25 years, and we got out of that business a few years ago. About 14 years ago, we started a haunted hayride on our farm, and with a haunted house and just some pumpkins, that sort of thing. Over the years, we've added some mazes and a stage show, a puppet show, parade, all sorts of great play structures. And now the farm is like a big play park for families, and they learn about agriculture, and the hook is the entertainment side of things.
Now, you've explained a lot of what you have done. I'm interested to know the why. You started out as a pick-your-own strawberry operation. Eventually, you become a theme park. What was happening in your farm, in the business of farming, that you suddenly make what is probably a rather drastic change?
Well, I think what's interesting is I think every generation of the family farm makes it their own. Whether it's new crops, new technologies, and we're just taking things in a little bit more of a bigger, different direction. What happened on our farm was strawberries were very popular. We were growing 25 acres and pick your own strawberries. In 1982, the peak year of our business for strawberries, we had 25 acres that we picked, and we didn't pick one ourselves. That is very rare, and it was a fantastic crop that year. Since then, things really went down from there, and in the last year of our strawberry business, we had about 3 acres of strawberries, and everyone else wanted us to pick them for them. It just wasn't economically viable anymore. But in the meantime, when we started seeing a decline in things, we realized that this was the time to diversify. Not when you're down and out, you don't have any money. You want to diversify when things are pretty good. You start looking about what's ahead.
Agriculture is a pretty traditional industry, and so when your parents were in the process of rethinking and let's turn this into a theme park, your farmer neighbors probably thought you were losing your mind at the time, were they?
A little bit, but I think every farmer is a character, and we have lots of great characters on our farm, and people do enjoy. You have to enjoy people, and when you invite them onto your farm, and I think my father in particular really enjoyed creating some fun experiences. He was the one that started it, and then I took it and expanded it dramatically since then. But I think every farmer, if you like people, inviting people onto your farm isn't such a bad idea, and they'll pay for that experience.
How do you respond? You have farmers watching you now across the country, in the West and in the East. And we're talking big farms, big investments, some cases big debt, and they will look at this and they say, well, that's nice. It's like the roadside stand idea, but this isn't real farming. This doesn't help us farm. If you heard that, how would you respond to that?
My first response to that is we are teaching people about agriculture, and we're not making a living. We wouldn't make a living on 100 acres of land, especially compared to some of the large properties out west. How I respond to that is we have done what we needed to do to save the family farm. That's the bottom line. So if you're going to hang on to those farming ideals, the traditional farming ideals, and not try something different, try something new, then it's going to be increasingly difficult to hang on to the family farm, and that's the reality. I know a lot of bigger farms that are trying this as a sideline, even just selling pumpkins or doing other kinds of events on their farm, and they're finding out that it's a nice bit of cash. It's keeping their farm afloat, and I'm not saying get out of traditional agriculture completely, but I'm just saying that this is a way to diversify your income a little bit and make a little bit more money and also have a little bit of fun.
Do you feel, Mark, that you have seriously challenged, obviously, your assumptions about farming and the business that you're in and how you make money? Do you think in agriculture we have restricted ourselves based on tradition, on here's what a farmer is and here's what's involved, in making a farm go. I mean, I guess what I'm asking about is the definition of a farmer, because what you have done is seriously changed that.
Yeah.
Does that restrict our ability to be successful?
I think, we like to say in Ontario, and there are quite a lot of farms that are struggling as well, we like to say that we are the new agriculture. And what that is, we say it's no holds barred. You try something, whatever you need to do. Some farms need to get a little desperate and are desperate to try something different. But in terms of farming, we look at it this way. You work all year round. You plant something, you grow it, you harvest it, and at the end of the day, you hope you pay all your bills. So what we plant is we plant some great ideas on the farm. We plant some great experiences for people. They grow. People come onto the farm, harvest those. They harvest memories, as some farms call it. And at the end of the day, they will pay a lot of money to have a farm experience.
I had a farmer on this program one time say, the definition of a farmer is just, a guy who can make money on the land, regardless of what he's doing with it. The reason I've got you on this program, Mark, is not necessarily to suggest to people who may live in very remote regions, farming in remote regions of this country, that this is a viable option necessarily for them, but it's really more to expose to the industry marketing. And the importance of marketing, whatever your particular niche is. Give me your sense on the importance of marketing in your venture there.
Well, I think marketing is one of the most important aspects of business, and so often we get caught up in the production side of things. We could have the most beautiful soybeans or corn or whatever we're growing. We have the most beautiful things, and they sit on our farm and we don't sell them. You got to figure out fancy ways, interesting ways, creative ways to pique the interest of your customers and get your customers to come out. The whole idea of what we call entertainment farming or agritourism, or whatever you want to call it, is we want to sell direct to the consumer, and because you're going to make the most amount of money for it that way. A couple of years ago, we started pulling businesses together. It's really difficult to market. There was sheep farmers, people that do fudge, people that do elk, strawberry farmers, all the various types of farmers, and it's very expensive to buy media. It's very expensive to advertise, for instance, and also so often people are sort of caught in the wilderness, and you don't know, sharing ideas. Who do you share ideas with? That sort of thing. So a marketing cooperative, I'm going to be speaking about marketing cooperatives and how to pull them together. I call them marketing cooperatives, but really, sometimes it's just a support group where people can share their stories, share their marketing ideas. For us, we have we have strawberries, so we have pumpkins on our farm. There's an elk farmer that came out and promoted his elk burgers and elk sausages on our farm for a couple of weekends during our busy season. So we helped each other out, and that's as basic as it can get. Or you can do cooperative ads in newspapers, TV, print, radio, and send people to a website, and that could really generate a lot of excitement and then business to your rural community.
Let me ask you a couple of personal questions. First of all, we see farms in this country now where it's very difficult to get the next generation to be very passionate, interested in taking over the family farm. Do your kids want to take over your farm?
Well, I have a 6-year-old boy and a 3-year-old, a 3 and a 2-year-old girl. And the 6-year-old boy, Aiden, this past year designed a new scene on our haunted hayride, and just loves it. And his sandbox is a haunted hayride in the summertime, and he designs all kinds of routes and all that sort of thing. But I look at it more of, if it's a great opportunity, I'm going to certainly encourage my kids to get into it, but I'm not going to hold on to something that was good, it isn't anymore. But what's really great about the direct farm marketing industry and people that are inviting people onto their farmers, they are the ones that are attracting the next generation, like myself, to the farm. And we're starting to see at conferences across Canada, United States, the UK, 20, 30-year-old kids coming back to the farm and creating a great livelihood.